Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. One podcast a week keeps the doctor on fleek. Now introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We have received some feedback that I've been using overly complicated terms, such as freckle and eyelash, so I will try to tone that down a little in the future. Here to assist with that is our producer, Cameron.
Welcome, friends and family members, well-wishers, and even curse-wishers. Those who would wish curses upon us, I welcome them.
That's very, very big of you, Cameron.
I know. Thank you.
Okay. So Cameron, he hears the quiet whispers of the wind. He recognizes the latest trends in the population at large. Mm. So do not be surprised if he briefly holds out a guiding hand occasionally during the show. Also with us is DJ Dylan in the house. So good. Plus, Cameron tells me that we can expect a guest on the show a little later, so keep your ears open for that.
Well, Dr. London, actually, it's not a guest. It's a little bit of a surprise. Oh? But this is going to be a listener call-in episode.
Okay, because you said... So you told me this is going to be a Johns Hopkins professor, medical research professor. You said you got him, and you had gone through a... Like, you sent me a long email about how you managed to get this guy on the show.
I think the chances that a Johns Hopkins professor would be one of our callers is pretty high. So I thought, you'd understand that.
Because you said you went to their campus and you sought this guy out.
Okay.
And you had drinks with him.
Okay.
Because you called me during that time and were saying, I got this guy.
Yeah.
On the show. And well, I guess, come to think of it, I guess I didn't hear a lot from him.
What are you insinuating?
I guess it just seems odd to me. Like, you seem so sure that we had this medical researcher as a guest.
Dr. London, I am not going to argue with you. I've turned a new leaf. I've found inner peace. I've found Zen. I'm not gonna let you get under my skin like you used to.
Well,
so I'm just gonna play it cool.
Okay. So anyway, so I guess it's going to be a call-in episode today. Something must have happened with that guy, and you are choosing to be zen about that. Okay.
No. I'm choosing to be zen about your hostile behavior and just general tomfoolery. Okay. I was already zen about the listener call-in episode.
Okay.
One of which could be a professor.
Right. Okay.
At whatever school we discussed before.
Okay.
Or hospital. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. Well, before we move on, we actually received a bit of listener feedback that apparently needed to be addressed. Quote, "These children are clearly filled with Satan's spirit. This gyrating will lead to marijuana and iversized with Satan's dungarees and saying swear words to adults." End quote. So first of all, thank you so much for your question. We are always overjoyed when we receive notes from our listeners. To answer your question, I cannot speak for the type of dance these children were doing, but most dances with which I am familiar are not known as like gateway actions to promote the use of marijuana. That doesn't sound like dancing traditionally has not been known as a precursor to smoking marijuana.
I'm again trying to stay calm and cool here, but you might not be the right person to ask about cool dances that lead you to smoking some of that green sweet kush.
Okay, I'm not a user of marijuana, but I have done some dancing before.
Okay, and
I have not used marijuana.
But you haven't done the right dances, is what I'm trying to get at. Politely, because I've found Zen, and I'm not going to let your kind of antagonistic, brutal, authoritarian attitude get to me.
Okay. Well, so I agree that I may not be super knowledgeable on marijuana. Maybe there's a dance that does that.
I'm just saying, try to do the Cupid Shuffle without chiefing a little kind.
Wait.
And it might be a little impossible.
You're saying that the Cupid Shuffle, a very well-known song that they play at weddings.
Yeah. You ever notice how the floor clears out when that song's over? Where do you think everyone's going?
Oh.
They're going out back, man. They're rolling up a J.
Okay. Well, in any case, okay, the dances that I'm most familiar with so far have not led me to use marijuana, but in any case, I am not aware of any particular association with the dancing and wearing of dungarees, which was apparently another issue the listener had some personal issue with. And I also don't see how dungarees are a negative thing. So the use of swear words may have some association. So I do recognize the concern there, that swear words and gyrating and drug use, I'm not sure. So in any case,
you wouldn't be sure. There's no way someone like you being sure about something like this.
Okay, well,
there's no way.
So in any case, it's my opinion that probably you can allow the children to dance as long as it's in a well supervised environment. But that's more of a cultural opinion than a medical one. I will admit that. I
am trying to stay as just calm and peaceful. I'm almost asleep.
Okay.
That's how peaceful I am. I'm about to fall asleep.
Okay.
But I do have to say that your opinion is about as worthless as I don't know, an ice cube in like a storm. There's a bunch of ice all around already, so it kind of negates the need for the ice cube. That's kind of
that's your opinion. Okay, thank you. Well, to our listener, thank you for the question, and thank you, Cameron, for your input as well.
Thank you, and I say that as calm as I possibly can. Oh, I'm so tired. That's how just zen and peaceful I am. No question.
You do seem to be equating peace with being asleep.
It's just my heart rate is so low right now because of the kind of spiritual space I'm operating in right now.
Okay. Well,
that I might as well be asleep.
Okay. Well,
and the old me would have heard what you just said and kind of talking back to me and gotten defensive. And I might have said, well, you don't know much about anything anyway. So who cares what you have to say? Because you exist only to keep people down and, put a pillow on the face of
the metaphorical
like intelligence or something.
Okay.
And you're suffocating it.
Right. Well,
and that I would never ever say that now because I'm in a place where I am so peaceful. Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy. I'm so peaceful.
All right. Well, thank you, Cameron. Now for a tale from the hospital. I recently had a patient who has pursued alternative medicine sort of measures for her breast cancer. So now she has a softball-sized mass protruding from her chest. In clinic, it was open and bleeding, and it frankly looked kind of gross. So in medicine, patients who are judged to be capable of making their own decisions, that they're mentally aware, they're present, they're alerted to time and place and that sort of thing and location. So they are permitted to make their own decisions, even if it will likely lead to their detriment, which it does seem to be the case with this lady with the cancer. This is known as patient autonomy. And it's just a part of medicine, at least in the U.S. All right. Now for today's topic, Wolf-Parkinson-White Syndrome. So normally the heart has parts, as we've discussed, called nodes that send out an electrical signal to set the rate and rhythm for a heartbeat. But in Wolf-Parkinson-White Syndrome, those signals are sent on an accessory pathway that results in tachycardia. And tachycardia is an increased heart rate above the normal rate of 60 to 100 beats per minute. I'm sorry, what was Cameron, is that, or are you scoffing?
I'm not scoffing. I'm at peace right now. I'm not wound up. But if, this were a couple weeks ago, I might say 100 beats per minute. That's nothing. I can do that in my sleep. My heart's way faster than that.
Okay. Because that's not like an impressive... Like,
could be a million times. It might be a million times more than that.
See, if it's too high, then that can indicate a medical problem. Like,
you don't believe me.
No, it's not. It's not that I think you can't do it. Like, that's an impressive thing.
Yeah, I know it's impressive. And again, I'm at peace, about to fall asleep. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Because I'm so peaceful, so I'm not going to argue with you. But don't call me a liar.
Well, could I feel your pulse?
No. I have my rights. I have privacy.
Okay.
But here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 100.
Okay, because you weren't...
That was less than a minute.
So two issues with that. One...
No.
So what you did was... Actually, it's a real test, but... So that's a test that they use for patients with myasthenia gravis, or sometimes with
That's
asthma,
how fast my heart was going. I was trying to just tell you, use my words to tell you.
So when you take a deep breath and you count as fast as you can... Or if you count, it's actually supposed to be at a sort of a metronome beat. That's a way to measure your lung function, not your heart.
Okay.
So whenever you're...
Well, I just used it to measure my heart, seconds ago. Which, again, I'm not arguing with you because I'm so at peace. I have such a zen lifestyle right now that I would never even think about trying to argue with you. So I'm not. I'm independently saying to myself alone, this is separate than what we were talking about.
Okay.
That you're a hack doctor and I don't think you're good and you're not making any sense.
Okay. Well, I guess thank you for...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 30, 40, 46, 60, 49, 60, 61, 62, 63,
okay, no,
64,
I think we had...
65... 71, 98, 79, and 100.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with us. So in Wolf-Parkinson-White Syndrome, again, so on EKG, this shows as a delta wave leading up to the QRS. So the normal big jaggedy line it has a round upward curve at the start instead of sharp lines. I don't know if you've ever seen in sort of hospital shows or medical shows where they have the heart monitor that's going like beep, beep. How it has that jaggedy line. So what I'm talking about here.
What are you talking about?
So on medical shows, they have the heart monitor.
No.
Next to,
What? What are you watching?
well, I say shows, but also in movies. It's every time like there's a screen next to the person.
What?
The patient.
No, there's not. You're watching a screen. This is where you're confused. Again, I'm Zen, so I'm not arguing with you. But there's not a screen next to you. You are watching a screen.
Okay, well, so I was talking about how you're watching the screen of the movie, and within that there's a patient there's a screen next to them.
What? No, there's not.
Maybe not in every movie in every scene, but in the ones that I'm describing.
I've never heard of a movie having a jagged line like you're describing.
Okay. You don't watch medical movies or shows?
What? I think I've seen most movies. I've seen the vast majority of movies.
Okay.
I've seen Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2,
okay.
Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4,
they're all
Toy Story 5, Toy Story 6, Toy Story 7, Toy Story 8, Toy Story 9, and I cannot afford Toy Story 10, but that's the next one I'm gonna get.
Okay. So what you're describing, there are only so many Toy Story. There aren't that many Toy Story movies out there.
Yes, there are, and they're amazing. This is most movies. What are you talking about?
So, like, there are other movies.
No, I get a bunch of toys. I pull them out. I put them out in my room. I hold up a screen. I look through that screen.
Okay. So,
and I'm watching. I mean, that's Toy Story 3 that I'm describing.
You holding up a screen in a particular way is Toy Story. So when you say you see a lot of movies or you go to the movies.
Yeah, I've seen most movies, and I do it every single weekend.
So every weekend, so when you say you go to the movie or you've seen movies,
and I've never seen this jagged line you're talking about.
You make it there, and you're playing with toys is what I think you're describing.
Yeah,
here.
Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I cannot afford 10. It's too expensive.
Is Toy Story 10?
Oh, it's so expensive.
A toy?
It's too expensive. I'm hoping by the end of the summer I should be able to afford it. Hopefully. We'll see. But it's so
it's
expensive.
a toy? Or because you're describing each of these as you hold your
Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Toy Story 5, Toy Story 6, Toy Story 7, Toy Story 8, Toy Story 9, and I can't afford 10.
Okay, well, back to...
Do you believe me now?
So in Wolf-Parkinson-White Syndrome, just in summary, Wolf-Parkinson-White Syndrome is when electrical signals go on their own accessory path, sort of like an off-road pathway. And the end result of that is that it makes the patient's heart rate go up.
And that's fine. I'm so zen, and I'm totally fine with that happening. It's totally fine that happens.
Oh, okay. So we'll go ahead and move on from there then.
Sure. It's up to you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so at peace. I'm so sleepy. Man, I'm so at peace.
All right. Well, Cameron, you said that we had some listeners calling in today.
That is absolutely right, Dr. London.
Okay. And although you had promised me a professor, yeah, it'll be just any of our listeners as possible.
I would say the chances that it is a professor from Johns Hopkins University is about a 94 to 97% possibility.
Okay. All right, well, so we'll go ahead and hear from our first listener. If that's, I guess, I don't know if that's DJ Dylan, whoever's managing that.
It's probably DJ Dylan.
I I honestly do not know.
We can ask him yourself. Hey, DJ Dylan, are you managing these calls?
Oh, okay. There's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
answer. Classic DJ Dylan. All right, listener, you're on the Jock Doc podcast with Dr. London Smith, that's me, and with Cameron, our producer.
Hi. Greetings.
Hey, this y'all emergency.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
Right?
Could you say that one more time?
Is this y'all emergency line?
It could be.
No, this is for listeners calling in.
Cause I got something going on this end.
I mean, I want to know.
Cause I got something in my yard. You got a camera. You bring here. You gonna?
You've got something in your yard?
There's something in my yard. There's something flaming.
Flaming? It's on fire? There's something on fire there?
There's all.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's running, and now I'm running. 1 second. So, yeah, Charlotte, if you bring the hose any closer to this phone, I swear, Charlotte, you better stay back where you are.
Who is Charlotte?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, that's just my cousin. That's my cousin.
I'm a little bit scared this is an emergency. And in that case,
I called this your emergency line. You just told me.
Yeah, that's correct. This is our emergency line.
Well, you should be calling 911 in the event of an emergency.
What you would do, Charlotte, go get our other phone.
Okay,
Charlotte.
Oh, what?
Oh my! So y'all ain't here to help me?
Listen.
Ain't y'all got some cameras? You got a radio station? You come set up out here.
Well, what was your name, listener?
My name is Alexandra.
Alexandra, okay. What is...
Yeah, Alexandra with an emergency.
Okay. Oh, this sounds frightening. So you said you saw a fire and you have your cousin Charlotte there.
Charlotte, she's out getting the other phone because we need to call the 911.
Okay, so you're not using your own phone for it because you have to stay on the line with... Okay.
I'm live, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is live.
So...
Then I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so could you describe this fire for me? Is it like a little...
I said there's flames.
Wow.
Well, that is a description of a fire.
Dr. London, could you maybe talk about the medical reason for why she's seeing so much fire?
Okay. Well, usually, I guess the typical presentation would be that there is fire there, and then I'd be concerned for things like burns. Is it...
Charlotte's getting the other hose. Don't you worry. What hose, phone? She's getting it. Don't worry about my safety.
You said this is in your yard?
Yeah, we're good.
Did you start a fire, or is this...
Charlotte's got the hose on it.
Wow.
Okay, did you... I'm just...
Not the gasoline.
Could you tell me what...
I'm loving this energy that Charlotte's bringing.
Not the gasoline.
What is...
I got another cousin up in here, up in our business, and he's got some gasoline, and he's going towards our tiny flames.
Okay, well, this sounds...
Henry?
Dr. London, could you handle this emergency?
Well, this sounds...
is, I mean...
Yeah, you got a doctor there?
Yes.
But this doesn't sound like a medical...
Doctor, I got... Oh, yes, that's where Doctor, I got a Henry, a cousin Henry, and he's trying to take the gas... Hold on. He's trying to take the gasoline to the fire. What can I do to stop him,
Do you know how to cure someone who has a Henry?
No, this doesn't sound like an illness so much as it sounds like an emergency for a firefighter.
Well, she just said she has a Henry, which sounds really painful, and she sounds like it's on fire. I know sometimes when my back hurts, it's on fire.
He's coming towards me, you guys. I gotta run. Well, I'm running.
I know exactly how she feels when I have a Henry, which I'm not exactly sure what that means, but you know, you're the doctor, not me.
Like a pain?
So she has a Henry, and it's on fire right now. Oh, it hurts so bad, it's on fire.
Okay.
And it's chasing after her in the yard.
Like
when I get a foot cramp, it's chasing me in the yard. Oh, I hate it.
All right. Well, could you tell me what it is that's on fire for you, Miss Alexandra?
Well, just a little Henry and Charlotte made a little bit of a Christmas dinner back in the summer though for us, and we wanted to have a Christmas in the summer, and
normal.
we're trying to set it all up, and I shouldn't have let my 2-year-old and 4-year-old cousin up in the cooking stuff, and they got all in that stuff. And now we got these flames, and I'm all running, and I got my Henry, and he's got his gasoline, and he's chasing me with it, trying to get it on my shirt, trying to catch me on fire, because I got his food on fire.
Oh, okay. So Henry,
Christmas dinner is what
your
burned.
summer Christmas dinner.
Outside, though. Yes.
So if I could...
So, Dr. London, what would you recommend for that? Like Vicodin or...
No, I would not recommend opioid.
Could you bring it here?
That'd be great. We can work that out.
Were you roasting your dinner over a fire outside? Your Christmas in the summer?
It caught
dinner
with the flames. Yeah. So the flames actually went off inside, and we ran them outside. And I said, "No more flames." And Henry, my little cousin, the Henry, he liked the flames, and he decided to go get some gasoline, and now we're dealing with a whole big pool of stuff. But we got my little cousin Charlotte. She's on the phone with 911. She's 4 years old, getting it all worked out better than any 4-year-old you've ever known, I bet.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. London, do you know any 4-year-olds who'd be able to handle a situation like this?
Honestly, I'm not sure that I do. That Charlotte sounds very capable for her age. So,
well, Charlotte, it sounds like I don't know. I think maybe some rest, maybe drink some more water. I think that usually helps with your issues, and I think you'll be able to get that fire taken care of.
Well, and probably just call 911.
Or I feel.
Thank you, guys. We got Charlotte on the line now, and I want to thank you for all for putting me alive.
Yeah, just feel free to call back if you have another emergency, or you don't need 911 is so expensive. Any of those numbers that start with a 9, they are so expensive.
I think that's.
And they never even understand what I'm saying when I call 911. Y'all talk me all through it like a real helper would.
Just rest and relaxation.
Well.
R and R.
Oh, that sounds great. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next caller, I think. So yeah. So we'll go on.
Gracias, and thank y'all, and have a good day then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And this has been your time on the Jock Doc podcast. Well, Cameron, did you tell people that this was an emergency call line?
I said, well, I kind of like played a game with people. I was kind of like, hey, like if you need to get a hold of a doctor right now, what would you call? And then people were like, oh, I'd probably call 911. And I say, no, you're going to call the Jock Doc podcast call-in episode. And I do want to remind you, I'm so calm right now. Not at all worked up.
Yeah. So
I've found Zen
peace
in my life.
So this was you, because you were trying to get a guest on the show, and your solution was to just tell people that in an emergency situation they should call the podcast. Because
I didn't just tell people. I didn't go to the mall and just find someone and said, hey, call us. I found people who looked sick. Who would need to call you and ask for advice the most?
People I encounter.
The visibly unwell.
Well, at my job, sure, at the hospital.
The visibly unhealthy. So I just went around town and I found people. I would look a person up and down and say, this is a person who Dr. London could really help. And so I went up to them and I said, the thing I said before about if you're sick, if you're in a situation there that you would normally call 911, they're going to charge you a lot of money. The other day I called a 900 number. It cost me 25 cents a minute.
Why did you do that?
It was on the TV.
Were you were calling in for like a
I'm saying I
hotline?
called a 900 number that I had seen on TV. They charged me a huge amount. And now it kind of put in perspective, oh, that's why these 900 numbers, like 911, they cost so much money.
I don't
So
think
I was
that's how
telling
it
these
works.
people, these really, really unwell looking people, hey, don't call them. Call Dr. London Smith and he'll be able to help.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's go for our next caller, maybe. Someone, hopefully, who's, maybe with at least an illness that we can discuss and I can try to explain a little bit, or hopefully that professor that you were so emphatic that you got that professor. So maybe hopefully he'll call in.
Okay, we have another caller.
Okay, hello?
Hey, is this Dr. London
Oh, no.
again?
Okay. I mean, yes, it is me.
It is absolutely Dr. London.
This is the Jock Doc podcast.
Doctor, have I got a case for you? My flames are growing and the gasoline's just spreading all around the yard, and now we've got shapes of all these flames, and I don't know what to do.
You know, I had dealt with burning in my yard as well, and I had to take a pill.
Okay, no, that's not how you treat. Okay.
The only thing that's making the flames worse is that I got Henry, my little cousin Henry, out there spreading the gasoline. So yeah, what can I do to get him out?
Why are you giving your young cousin access to gasoline at all? At all?
I ain't his mom. I'm his cousin.
Right, but usually you just don't give access to gasoline to younger people.
I didn't give it to him. It's free in our garage.
Yeah.
Well,
Henry!
Just because it's free doesn't necessarily mean that you should be doing it. Like starting a fire at all. Well, I'm sorry. You did say this was for your Christmas in the summer dinner.
Well, I ain't know Charlotte and Henry gonna cook the Christmas dinner. I'd have done it if I'd have known.
Oh, they cooked the dinner without your knowledge?
How you think we got a fire going in there? You think I'm gonna start that? No, of course we got Charlotte, we got Henry, the bad cousins.
Okay.
Well, and again,
there's a reason Grandma don't like them.
I'm not a doctor, and so I'm not a medical expert like Dr. London here. I've never had a Henry like she's describing. But again, I just want to reiterate, I've dealt with fire in my yard before.
And for that, you took a pill.
Yeah, you just take a pill, and it clears up.
The fire?
What pill? Where can
there's like a burning in my yard.
Still?
No, because I took the pill, and then it went away.
Oh, Dr. London.
Oh,
boy, am I happy to hear from you.
Right. Well, it seems odd. So you had that, your Christmas fire, your Christmas dinner caught on fire, made by your cousins. I'm just trying to trace a little bit of what's happening.
The medical jargon you're throwing around, I just can't keep up with it. I'm going to leave this to you, Dr. London, because I don't Christmas dinner and what you guys are talking about. I don't know these things at all.
Okay. Well, and there's also the issue of, so Cameron, you said you took a pill and
it cleared up the fire in my yard.
Because your yard hasn't, I didn't see any burns on it outside.
Well, you haven't seen it.
Well, it's the first thing you see.
My yard is extremely private. I don't know why you would see it. And it started burning one day after I was experimenting. And I had to go to the doctor. He checked out my yard. And I took a pill over the course of 6 weeks and it cleared it up. I think that would help this issue.
6 weeks. So when you say that the doctor checked out your yard.
Yeah.
Are you referring to like a body part as a yard?
My yard was burning.
Okay.
I went to the doctor.
Like on fire?
I said, look, doctor, I've made some mistakes in my life. And I slipped up here. and my yard is burning. He took a look. He said, yeah, this isn't good. Take these pills for 6 weeks. I think that would really help our listener.
Are you referring? You're saying it's private?
But I've never had a Christmas dinner. I haven't struggled with that.
Okay,
I haven't had that ailment that you guys are describing. Sorry, again, it's the medical jargon. I don't understand it. I'm not a medical guy, but I love listening to this though.
Okay, well, I guess we'll go back to Alexandra. Are you still there?
Hey, I'm still here, and I still need that pill. Because, I got Henry, and he's down here pouring out the gasoline. And Charlotte, she's still on the phone with 911. She's claiming to me that the police are en route here to my house. I don't know how the hell I'm going to talk to some police right now. But my yard's burning. I might as well, unless y'all can give me that pill and 6 weeks to go by in the next 20 minutes.
I think Dr. London can do that.
I don't know of a pill that does what Cameron is describing. What if, have you tried to put out the fire yourself?
Oh, great. Here they come now. And of course I've tried to put it out myself. Dr. London, I've got my hose. I got my hose here, but now we got these firemen, and these police are coming. I gotta run.
No, wait.
I gotta hide.
Run.
I found a spot. No, I'll hide. I'm here.
And I do want to say,
and I see y'all.
I had tried to take care of my fire by myself as well, and so I shaved down near my yard, and I honestly ended up cutting myself up like really, really bad. I lost a lot of blood in the process. So this again, I think maybe going the pill route instead of just kind of dealing with it on your own might be the safer route. I am not a doctor. I'm also extremely zen and calm, so I'm not going to argue with Dr. London.
I think that the yard that you're referring to might be different from the yard that Alexandra here
again, I'm not a medical guy.
Referring to.
I'm just,
Yeah, so I actually already tried using my own tools, and I actually used my hose, and I even tried getting my lawn tractor, my granddaddy's lawn tractor, and mowing out over the fire, and it ended up getting it bigger, and it got some more cousins involved, more than just Charlotte and Henry while y'all were off the phone, so we got a whole family in here, and now we got a whole crew of firemen taking their shirts off around my little baby.
I'm sorry, firemen are taking their shirts off?
that sounds like a treat.
Are you?
It's hot out here.
Are you at?
Oh, because the fire. That makes sense. Firemen, they're around fire a lot. It gets hot. They're like,
lose a layer.
Gotta cool off.
Okay, it sounds like.
But I do want to say I had an issue with my hose as well, so I do understand that.
Okay, so one thing I should say here. It sounds as if you're both describing sort of odd things. So, Alexandra, it sounds like you might be describing, and this is just sort of a shot in the dark here, perhaps you are at a family reunion and something is on fire. Maybe there's a fire show, and perhaps those men who came are strippers? Those firemen?
No, we had our Christmas in the summer today, so we all had a dinner, and of course my little cousins, we let them cook it because they're good at that usually, and it caught flame. We brought the flame outside so we didn't burn the house down, and now we got the fire trucks here. I'm here hiding under the car because I'm trying to watch these babies, and I got to have a little alcohol to get me through the day, and I ain't trying to go to jail.
Oh, so you're scared of the cops because you've been drinking?
Yeah, in my house. What do you think? There's a whole fire in the yard. Do you think they're not going to put this on me?
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily called arson, which I'm guessing would be the concern. It wouldn't be arson if it was in your own yard.
But again, I don't.
Y'all gonna back me up, right?
I'm not a medical guy. I don't think it's illegal just to have a fire going on in your yard. They say 1 in 5 people have it. And it's just something that you, again, have to go to a doctor. And it's not going to go away. But it does kind of get rid of it for a while.
Okay. I feel like, Cameron, you might be describing like an STD.
I mean, I
I'm
don't.
sorry, for our listeners, That's what's called a sexually transmitted disease.
Children listen to this podcast, Dr. London. We can't be talking like that.
Should I?
Her 2- and 4-year-old cousins are listening to us right now
Are they actually listening?
because they're huge fans of the podcast.
You know them.
No, but I mean, she is. She called.
Right. Okay, Alex,
Y'all really think that's what caused this?
an STD? No, I think that it was probably
yeah.
roasting something over a fire outside.
That's what I could have sworn, Henry. I didn't do it. Henry and Charlotte started that fire. I haven't even been sexually active.
Okay, so you're saying because you have not been sexually active, but your 4-year-old cousin. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not a medical
Your friend
expert.
said
I
he
just
got
want to throw this out there. It can happen from a toilet seat.
Okay.
So did you sit on any strange or dirty toilet seats that may have caused this fire in your yard?
You saying I don't clean my house?
I don't know.
Okay, I should chime in here and say, no, you cannot get an STD from a toilet seat. I do want to clarify that.
Oh, that is stanky.
Thanks, Dr. London. Then I ain't think I started this fire.
Oh, that's...
I swear, Charlotte and Henry. Anyways, and now the fire trucks are here and I'm having to hide. You know I'm going to jail today. And I swore to Papa I ain't going to jail more than 4 times this year.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead. I think that you can go ahead and probably talk to the police, talk to the firefighters who have apparently taken off their shirts. And we'll go ahead and move on to our next caller, I think.
Yeah, y'all gonna back me up when they come calling, right?
Well, all right. So that's...
Yeah, I'll give you Dr. London's information that you can hand to them. Phone number, address.
Thank you so much for your help, you guys, and thank you again for putting me live. It's the best thing. And if this is my last day free, then this is what I wanted to be doing, talking to you guys.
Okay.
Wow. I love our listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
Take that pill. Wow. I love our listeners, Dr. London.
Yeah. I kind of feel as if... You were describing earlier meeting someone in the mall. Did you meet only one person and tell them about the podcast?
Yeah, and she looked really, really unwell. And I said, I think this call-in show might be for you.
And did you not give the call-in information to anyone else?
Well, I got so tired. I've been so zen lately. I've just been such at peace. You know what I mean? I'm about to fall asleep. I'm so at peace that my heart rate is so low because I'm so zen. Like really kind of zen vibes.
Right.
And so I just went to sleep.
Okay. Right after telling one person about the podcast calling in. Okay.
Oh, we're getting another call.
Okay. Caller, this is londonsmith.com and on the Jock podcast, and you are on.
I swear I ain't do it. I swear I ain't do it. I swear I ain't do it. I got him on the line here. Hey, Dr.
No,
London?
I don't want to... Yes?
Who is this?
Doctor,
Hello?
hey, this is Alexandra again with, Sir Henry and Miss Charlotte, and I got some police here, and I know that y'all heard this whole situation.
Right. So,
could y'all please verify to the police that it was Charlotte and Henry that done started this during our Christmas dinner in the summer?
Sure. Are we on speakerphone with the officers right now?
Yeah. Officer can hear you. That's Officer Jacobson, and he wants to talk to you. He wants to hear your side. He says he can't get on recorded line, but he wants to hear what happened.
Officer Jacobson, hello. Welcome to the Jock podcast.
yes, I guess welcome.
Greetings.
Thank you. We do appreciate our law enforcement.
How do I describe it?
So
Sometimes when you're an adult
Okay.
And you are learning more about yourself.
I don't think that this is...
Huh?
I don't think that what you're about to go into is quite as applicable to their situation.
Well, I'm not the doctor,
Agreed.
but maybe I kind of am.
Okay,
It doesn't sound like you've been to the doctor and gotten this pill that I keep talking about.
Maybe before you go on with
Okay.
your take, I'll go ahead and explain from my perspective.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so it sounds like Alexandra is trying to blame her 4-year-old cousins for a fire. The police are there, and she is claiming that these minors, these children, are responsible for a crime, and that she is, as the supervisor there, is not responsible. And that, to me, that sounds very odd, because, of course, if you're babysitting, which I'm guessing...
Hey, Dr. London,
Yes.
I saw the look on the cop's face, and I can see you're giving him negative information about me.
Okay. All right, well... Yeah, I was just trying to explain it as I saw it.
I called you thinking you're going to defend me, and now you're trying to send me to jail.
I'm only explaining the situation kind of as I see it. Were you babysitting? Was that the situation?
Yes. There's a lot going on here. So, we got the police here, and we got about 8 firefighters, and they're all shirtless here, and I don't know what to do. I feel like that.
Could you ask them why they are shirtless?
Hey, why y'all ain't got no shirts on? They said it's hot, and they're hot, and they know it.
I guess that tracks. Okay, well, thank you so.
Wait, is the fire taken care of?
They're getting it. The fireman, there's some other firemen out there going with a water truck, about 8 spouts on that truck, and they driving over it, and they pouring all that water on, and water, if you pour it on the fire, the water takes it out, the fire out.
So I guess I really didn't have to go to the doctor and take that pill.
Okay, no, Cameron, just to clarify on this.
Yeah, Cameron, you could have just called 911
Yeah, and it sounds like,
or
you get to hang
whatever.
out with shirtless firemen. Like, it sounds like a better experience. The doctor that I saw, he was kind of overly clothed personally. It seemed like he was just wearing too many clothes. I don't know.
Well, they often will wear a lab coat and that sort of thing.
It's not fun. It's like what she's describing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind next time I have a fire in my yard. Or hose issues.
All right, well.
Yeah, this is my last free day. They're saying I'm about to go away.
Who is saying that?
Well, they're pretty pissed about the chilling.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess that could be considered child. I don't know what all is going on in your situation.
They think I shouldn't have let those kiddos cook.
All right. Well.
Of course I should have. That's how you teach a kid responsibility. You hand them it and they do it as a baby or whatever.
It's entitled.
You give it to them early.
Millennial culture.
Yeah, the 4-year-old millennials.
You calling me a millennial? Because I never had a compliment like that.
I think he's referring to the children, your little cousins, Charlotte and Henry.
I'm just saying it's this entitled millennial culture.
Yeah, I probably just want to take an Instagram picture.
Yeah, that sounds just like Charlotte and Henry.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Alexandra. We wish you well, and hopefully, you won't be calling in from a jail cell. It sounds like this is one of those things that if you talk to a lawyer, you might be able to smooth it over a little bit.
I'm going to write y'all, if I can.
Sure. Okay. We appreciate hearing from our listeners. All right. Well, thank you so much, Alexandra, for being on the show. Thank you to, I guess, Charlotte and Henry as well. And it sounds like your whole situation could possibly be resolved by possibly just hiring a lawyer.
Yeah. I ain't got money for that, but I know y'all got some. You're a doctor. You can send me some.
That is something we can absolutely do. We do it with a lot of our listeners.
No. Okay.
Y'all really going to send me some money
absolutely.
to help me get through this? How much money you sending?
It's going to be a debit card. I'm going to let you know the PIN.
No.
Dr. London has tried to change the pin, but thankfully I've been able to get back in. So that'll be coming your way.
I can't thank y'all enough for this glorious day.
Thank you for being on the show, and goodbye. All right, well, thank you, Cameron, for setting up that one caller.
Yeah. I love our listeners, and I'm so at peace.
Sure, and I'm glad that
you're... I think the level of peace I'm at is probably maybe close to the most peace any person's ever had probably ever.
Wow, okay. That sounds great.
My heartbeat right now is 1, 2.
That does sound bradycardic, possibly.
3.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and finish up then. This has been the Jock Dog Podcast. We had our listener. We got some feedback there. Thank you to Cameron, as always, our producer Cameron, for being on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to DJ Dylan in the house. And my name, of course, is drlennonsmith.com. This has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
Bye.
I'm still dreaming, still believing.
Oh my greatness. What a treat that was. Meow, I know what you're thinking. I finally finished listening to this podcast, and I'm pretty much ready to give up. This was the very final straw. First of all, ouch. Second, please do not give up because of us. It really messes with our sponsorships, and honestly, we cannot afford to keep losing sponsors. Also, you probably have dozens, if not several, frozen yogurt flavors left to try out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they came out with vanilla flavor frozen yogurt?
Huh?
Uh-huh. And speaking of above average and out there, please subscribe to the Jock Dog Podcast. And while you're here, you might as well go ahead and leave a 5-star review with a list of frozen yogurt flavors that you have not tried. Seriously, that feedback really does help us to improve the podcast. Any number of flavors you can leave in a review.
Leave them as separate individual comments.
Oh yeah. Oh, it really
One
does
flavor.
help us.
It helps me read it easier if they're in separate
That's
5-star
true.
reviews.
Yeah, and get your friends to do it too to help you compile this extensive list. We really appreciate that.
And I do want to say, before Dr. Linden, you had mentioned the last straw,
Right.
And I just want to say, we don't know what broke that camel's back.
Oh, you're saying like
it could have had like issues before. You know what I mean? It's impossible to know what actually broke it. So I think to blame the straw is short-sighted. Okay. Maybe get some more straws.
Get to the root of the issue, maybe.
Don't worry about that. Just get more straws, which is episodes of this podcast.
Okay, I don't follow the metaphor that well, but that ending conclusion I like.
Okay.
Yeah, just so to follow the podcast. So also be sure to message a link of your favorite episode of the podcast to your crush, or even just send the URL jockdogpodcast.com.
And link me the profile of your crush. Let me talk to them. Let me say what's up.
Well, this is their crush, so I don't know if they want you to...
Yeah. Just send me your crush.
Okay. Well, because...
be cool about it. Don't be weird about it. Just send me your crush.
Well, plus, if you send it to them and they like it, the link, I mean, then you will both... You'll still have the option of the podcast as something to listen to in your free time after your crush realizes that you're coming on to them and that it actually makes them uncomfortable, which, Cameron, I know this is also one of those things you've had to deal with.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying, send me your crush, and then whatever happens, happens. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, in any case, thanks again for listening.